Hey guys, welcome to Talking Hawks. We are back for another week of another preview versus West Coast. Really excited this week. We're bringing all the best information to you guys all around the world. Thanks for joining us. Chris, I'm here with Mitch. How are you, Mitch?
Good to be here again, guys. Coming off a win last week, so we're up and about tonight, Chris. Fair to say.
Yeah, definitely, and the excitement will continue as long as we don't slip up this week. It's definitely a good chance to put 2 wins in a row together. It's been a while since we've done that.
Yeah, we are. Last time we've had 2 in a row was round 1 and 2 this year, North and Port. Haven't done it again since. So, haven't done it a lot in the last few years as a whole. So, hopefully, we're able to put one together this week against probably I don't want to say an informed West Coast side, but we know their best is good enough to match our best. So, yeah, looking forward.
I should sit up here so these comments don't cover me. Not that you want to see my ugly mug. Yes, no, West Coast interesting. I did chat to Matt earlier. I think they beat Collingwood the other week, didn't they? That's right.
Essendon, I think, was it?
Was that Essendon? Okay.
Yeah,
but yeah, after obviously they've got plenty of excuses. They've had plenty of injuries and whatnot. But they slowly got some of their cattle back out in the park. But they do have a few outs this week, so we'll touch on that later in the show. Where do you want to start, mate? Do you want to get stuck right into it, or?
Yeah, why not? No point.
We'll go through some of these comments while we
exactly get out of some of the regulars. Dom, Tom, Con.
Yeah, I'll pop them up here, guys, just randomly. You are the guys that keep turning up week in, week out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Actually, let's launch into our in the box. We did discuss the box on the post game. Sorry, the post game review. We've got a box this week against West Coast. If you would like to join us, at the MCG, seats don't get much better. We've got the guys doing a farewell lap at the ground.
Yes, 4 players.
Have you got them written down for me or not?
Yeah, Stratton, Birchall, Paul and Jordan Lewis in the lap of one. That'll be good.
There we go. Get that running. I don't think I'll put the price in. That was silly. I mean, $100, guys. Let us know if you're interested. There's not many seats left. So, it'd be good to meet some of you guys in the flesh and keep talking some dribble during the game.
Exactly right, guys. Get all over that. Just jump on any of our socials, shoot us a message, and we'll get back to you. Not a better seat in the house, and a really good game to go to in what's hopefully going to be a win and a good tribute match to the late Paul Deere. This match being a tribute to him, and we've already mentioned the lap of honour with 4 of our premiership stars. So jump on. I'm sure those tickets will go quick. So if you are interested, just head to our socials.
Beautiful, mate. So I'm guessing we're doing this tribute basically because of the COVID restrictions and not actually being able to do it for them with crowds. So, good initiative by the club to do that. Yeah, I'll be definitely happy to cheer as loud as I can and clap as loud as I can for what they did for our club. So, some of the best blokes going around in recent history, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on. Yeah, it was because of the COVID rampage 2020 and 2021 season. We couldn't give them the farewell that they deserve and that we want to give them. So the Hawks have come out and said this is being our last MCG home game this year. I think that's probably got a bit to do with it as well. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to give this guy here too much airtime, but I have pulled him out of the from the dust cobwebs, whatever. I'm bloody rambling here. Never thought I'd put him back up again, to be honest. But let him in a talk during the week. What if? Would you guys do it? We did actually do a poll. I know there was 430 votes last time I looked.
Yeah, I think it was the final results was 52% that he come back, and 48% that he stay up in Sydney. So it was an interesting poll. Hawks fans, we might touch on this later in the night. However, maybe just jump on the comments and see if we would like Buddy back in the brown and gold to finish up where it all started tonight. We might get back to that at the end of the show. But let us know throughout the night if you would rather have him or maybe not if he's going to, impede some of our youngsters' development in Lewis and Coley up forward.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. Pretty cheap to get the best seats in the house and the best company too, mate.
Absolutely.
Except for Mitch. You're not going to come with us, mate. You're busy working.
Got to work, unfortunately. So, a bit disappointed. But, hey, that means one more seat available for the fans. So get amongst it, guys. Yeah.
Went off on another tangent. Buddy, I don't know. There's positives and negatives. I think the negatives outweigh the positives. But wouldn't it be a dream just to get him back for one season?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it.
For sure. And then no way. I think it's probably like a case of head versus heart. I think if you're going with your heart, absolutely you want to see him back and finish in the brown and gold. How good would it be? But I think if you're thinking logically, like you said, the negatives probably just outweigh the positives, I think. But you never know. You just never say never in this game. So I'd love to see him back personally. Yeah. Yes, it's going to slow somebody else's development, taking a spot from somebody else. But I don't know.
Does he play a mentor sort of role if he does come in? I mean,
100% he does.
Exactly. I can't imagine that the guys aren't walking. We talked about this in our chat behind the scenes, but I can't imagine that the young forwards and the young players that are playing with for us at the moment aren't going to walk around a bit taller and have just a bit of a bit more sense of life in them with an AFL legend, not just a club legend, but one of the all-time greats lacing up their boots next to him.
And he would bring some nice intel from Sydney as well, from what he's learnt through their structures and game plans and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, for him to be able to pass on his knowledge to Mitch, who's already flying Mitch Lewis at the moment. So, and even Cozzy, could that take Cozzy to the next level just by getting him there and telling him what to do and where to go and what not to do and the weaknesses of the backmen, et cetera, et cetera. He'd be on a veteran's salary, so that we only have to declare half his wage. Not that we're struggling for money. I think we've got a huge space in our cap, so we can still go and chase somebody if need be. But, I don't know. I wouldn't mind it, but I can see why you wouldn't do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, straight away, I think you're probably going to look at the negatives first. I think they sort of popped to mind. He's 35, 36. He's going to cost probably 700 at least, probably more 750. I think he was being offered about 500 for Sydney, and he's real dirty on that.
Thanks, Brooke. I have to pop it up.
I did see that. I had a little chuckle while you were just talking there, Chris. I didn't know if you're going to bring it up, but I'm glad you went with it. Thanks, Brooke.
Yeah, it's not too bad. That's clean enough. I'll put it up.
Very good. Got to pay that.
There you go. I did say that. Matt's clicking over the top of me. I'm going to run with myself. Assistant coach. I like it. Coach / player. It's been a long time since it's happened at senior level, as in AFL. It happens at local level all the time, player coaches.
Yep.
Whether they can declare some of his salary that way, I don't know. But if he doesn't play, definitely on the coaching ranks, but I think he likes his lifestyle in Sydney.
Yeah, he does. I think him and his wife Jacinta have both openly said in the media that they prefer the life they have in Sydney. However, he did come out this way, or I think representatives of him have said that he's open to playing anywhere. So that would sort of maybe point to the path that he's not necessarily, content on staying in Sydney. And I think he wants to play on. But based on what we've seen only this week, as it's come out, I think he wants to play on. So I think Sam Mitchell was actually asked about it in his press conference, if he had spoken to Bud at all, I think today or yesterday. And he had a bit of a laugh and said that he hadn't spoken to him regarding, a possible move to Hawthorn this year. And he said that he wouldn't tell the media even if he had, but he did mention last year they contacted a lot of former players when they were doing jumper swaps and giving new numbers to some of our younger players. And he got a hold of Bud and he said that, who do you want to give the 23 to? And Bud said, oh, well, I'll come back and wear it. A little bit of a tongue-in-cheek moment. So you never know, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing there. But I would personally like to see it purely at a bit of a sentiment thing. Interestingly, touched on the coaching, and I could be wrong here. However, when he went to Sydney, on the 9 or 10 year deal, whatever it was. I think there was a clause in his contract to say if he didn't make the years in playing, he could actually go into a coaching role and he would fulfill his contract that way.
Okay. Yep.
I could be wrong there. I might hit up Daz. Daz is all over that sort of stuff, but it's possible that he could progress into a coaching role for maybe a forward coach for our young forwards. Be good to see.
There you go. Interesting one from Dominic. I wasn't aware of. Just into becoming a player agent. Well, it makes sense. They pay a lot of money to the agents to do their wheeling and dealing, and why not put some money in the pocket of your wife?
Yeah, why not?
All right, I think we've well and truly spent too much time on the Budwa, so time to move on. Let's move into the ins and outs. You said we've got Will Day in, Kyle Hardigan, and Josh Serong listed as debut, but he is on the extended bench, and we're thinking he may miss. I would love to see him play. I would absolutely love to see him play.
Yep. Yeah, I think he'll probably miss this week. Coming off a win, you're not going to generally make too many changes just in general. But I mean, who? That is the question I always ask in these previews: is who comes
out? He is a forward, really, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Potentially run through the middle, but I don't think he's going to get much game time in the middle, based on who's already in the team, like you said. And yeah, he's got to be taking the spot of another small forward. I guess if you squeeze him on the bench, you can rotate. I'm guessing is Serong related? I'm guessing you're talking about the Fremantle young gun. Yes, they are brothers.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Totally different in size and game position played, but I think Jai has got a bit of talent, so hopefully he can, play some decent games for Hawks over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that'll be this week, but he did have a good game last week against Box Hill, and he has been listed in the extended squad, so you never know.
Yeah, nowhere near ready for present, but I don't know. Is it going to hurt to blood him against a weak West Coast team? If there's a team to do it, like now would be the time.
I think if there's someone in that forward line that maybe is looking for a bit of a spell or is touched lame or so, I think maybe it's a good idea. But coming off a win, our forward line was pretty good last week. Who do you squeeze out? We got North the following week, so it's not like he's not going to get. He might be able to get a game for them against them next week. We'll see. I don't know who I could squeeze out of last week's side. We were pretty good last week, especially forward of centre.
Yes, definitely. So no injuries out of the game last week, was there? But we've got Chad Wingard called it for the season. I don't know if he's done any more damage in his rehab, but cotton wool for him. Who else is Frosty?
Frosty's out for the season as well. So they've both been confirmed that they won't play again this season. In terms of Wingard, he hasn't done any further damage, but it just wasn't coming along as quickly as they would like. And Sam said in his press conference that they might get him to play the last round of the season, but considering what risks that would pose then going into the preseason, they just thought it's not worth it. It's only 1 week and going to be one game. We're not pushing for finals, obviously. So I would think that, he's not going to play, but he hasn't done any further damage to his ankle.
Yeah. One I'm constantly asking myself, should we trade Chad? It's a hard one. Yes and no, but for the right deal, probably. But I don't know. He seems pretty invested in Hawthorn, even though he hasn't probably lived up to my expectations for what he was going to bring to the team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think so. I like him in the side. He's just one of those players, and I know they probably sometimes they get a little bit of a rub from the media and whatnot, but he's just one of those players that he's good. He's really going to deliver, and he can turn a game like that. But he's not really ever going to be like the best player on the park every week, or even the best forward. It's just not his type of thing. I don't think it's been a failure getting him. I don't know what he's been paid. I don't know if he's maybe a little bit over or not, but I like him in the side. I think he brings a lot of excitement to our forward line, and we've talked about regularly, Chris, about when he goes through the middle. what are we going to get from him on a trade? I think if we trade him, he's probably not going to have a whole lot of stock in
it. Great swap for Carl Amon.
If we get Carl Amon if it's a straight swap, I mean, I'll take that. But I think we might have to give up.
I reckon there hasn't been any talks really about it. I'm guessing he's contracted, so probably not going to happen. But who knows? We are obviously trying to, but we're just lacking heaps of senior experience in the club. It was great to have McAvoy back last week, and in saying that, I think Hawks had the second best hitouts for the round.
Yes.
Under Gawn and Jackson at Melbourne, who are obviously probably the best duo going around. But I think it was our best since round 2, which McAvoy played in. So that's volumes of how much we've missed McAvoy out in the park.
Yeah, correct. So we had 46 hitouts on the weekend, and I think we had 54 against Port Adelaide in that big 64-point win against Port Adelaide in round 2. So, yeah, you're right. It makes a lot of a difference. Our clearances, we were about roughly square with Adelaide. So that obviously makes a difference. We've been talking a lot about our weaknesses at the stoppage and out of the clearance this year. So that clearly helped out a bit as we've got some ruckman back. And interesting with Ben McAvoy, the last 6 times that he's played in our side, we're undefeated. So we've had 5 wins, which were 3 towards the end of last year, the 3 that he's played in this year, or maybe 2 that he's played in this year, sorry, and 1 draw against Richmond last year in the final round. So, yeah, the last 6 times he's played, we're undefeated. So, no doubt he's the captain, and he no doubt adds a bit of confidence, I think, just around the group when he's playing.
Yeah, no, interesting stat, mate. I enjoyed that one. How many more games we got? 5, 6? Finish the season on a run? Actually, I think somebody posted, I think if we win every game for the rest of the season and the other results go away, we can actually make the 8.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to be
honest. Probably not. But look, if you get on a roll, who knows what you can do?
Yeah, exactly right. We interesting on that. I was going to talk about this later, but that's probably a good transition. We our last 4 or 5 seasons, our best patches have been from round 18 to round 23. Our biggest jump up was, and I'm probably going to get the year wrong now, but I think it was 2017 or 2018 when we were, maybe even 2016 when we were 10th from round 12 onwards, and then we won it like most of the games coming home. We jumped up into 4th. Yep. We've had a good record, especially in round 18 the last few years. I do have a stat here somewhere. I can't find it at the moment, but we have a good stat in round 18 of the last 4 or 5 seasons. I think
I'm saying 17. I thought it might have been 18. Yeah, we went out in straight sets. We had double chance and went out in straight sets.
It might have been, yeah. So it's pleasing to see, and it always helps a young group as well if you lead into your off season and then your preseason if you're coming off a few wins.
Yeah, 100%.
Last week was definitely one that we pinpointed that we probably need a win to give the young group a bit of confidence, and this one and definitely next week as well will be one that we're looking to win.
There you go. What do you think Hawks have played well in the finish to the season? And typically we rest a few players, put them in cotton wool like we just have with Frosty and Wingard, and play a few more kids, and we get some interesting results. I guess you potentially got people playing for their next contract as well. If anybody's looking at being out of contract and trying to, keep their spot on the list. So there's lots of things that happen. I guess also, I mean, Sam's just come in with a new game plan. It's taken a while to sort of, when we see it work, it works. If we can execute it more often, because we're used to playing it, then you get better results. But who knows? Lots of factors.
Yeah, correct. And I think I just saw one come up from Freedom that we played weak teams. Yeah, there is a little bit of that as well. However, I think it was last year off the top of my head. It might have been the year before. We actually beat like 4 or 5 of the top 8 in that last sort of 6-week span. So there has been some quality games in there. We drew with Richmond. We beat GWS, Collingwood, and there's one other team in there as well. And they're all coming up.
Sydney was in that run as well. Yeah.
Brisbane as well. Brisbane was one of the sides as well that we beat towards the end of last year. That was another one of the games at McAvoy, his last 6 that we went back to before. So, yeah, I think it's definitely just trying to finish off the year strongly. I think that around the club, that has to be a talking point, is in really finishing strongly, giving yourselves and then rewarding yourselves with an off season, but then really jumping back into that pre-season and building towards the following season.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I guess it's just bonding with the group. And like you said, it's most important for those young players to get that winning culture and, know how to finish off a game and get it over the line. So it's very important come finals. Hopefully, that transitions into next year. It didn't happen this year. I thought last year we finished with a bit of a bang, didn't we, too? And thought, and we did. We actually did start this season quite well, didn't we? We won 3 of the first 5, was it? Something like that?
We won the first 2, I think, and then we had a couple of losses and then a win. So I think we were 3-2 after round 5, I think.
Yeah.
We beat Geelong in round 5, I think, Easter Monday, and we were 3-2. 3-2, yeah.
There you go. Fair point. Last year, because Clarko was leaving, there was a lot going on within the 4 walls, and I'm sure certain players were playing out of their skin for Clarko. And, man, maybe, like you said, for Mitch as well. Come on, Matty, get that down. Or have you put that up for a reason? What are we
looking at?
Was that last year's run home, was it?
It was last year's run home, yeah. Thanks, Matty.
Thanks, Matty. We're a bit slow there.
There you go.
Melbourne, who went on to win the flag, Yep.
Oh, that's right. We drew with Melbourne. I just saw that at the top of the screen. We did draw with Melbourne. Yeah, it was a good run home last year. So let's hope we have a similar run. We've got a tough couple of weeks after next week. Play North next week, which we're obviously hoping is win. And then it's Gold Coast and St Kilda, who have both beat us by 10 goals. They're our 2 biggest losing margins for the year, Gold Coast and St Kilda. So hopefully we can get a couple of wins, get a little bit of confidence leading into those games.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see if we can at least narrow those deficits against those 2 teams, because you'd hate to lose by 10 goals again to those 2 teams. Saints had a decent year. Gold Coast has played some good footy. They're definitely a better team, probably the best team Gold Coast has been since they've entered the league. But still, It's a team that you shouldn't be losing to by 10 goals.
Or 10 goals, no. Not when you see some performances that we've put in against the better sides, beating Brisbane, running Melbourne to 10 points, Richmond by, only a couple of goals. So let's hope we've learned a bit. But we'll take it week by week. And this week we want to start off with our second win in a row in as many weeks.
All right. So quickly roll through West Coast outs. Cripps. Oh, no, this is the in, sorry. Cripps in, who's not a bad player, actually. Jai Cully debut. Wouldn't it be interesting if 2 Jais made their debut on different teams?
It would be.
Callum Jamieson, I don't know him, to be honest. Jackson Nelson, it's not a huge name. Xavier O'Neill and Alex Witherden, who is a decent player, I think. Out Nick Nat, Jack Petruccelli, and Willie Rioli. So got a couple coming in, but they've probably got more talent going out, I think, this week.
Oh, much bigger outs than ins, and Kennedy has also been ruled out for the season. So that's another big loss for them, and I'm sure. Look, I'm sure they're probably just looking at. They've had a lot of injuries this year, like COVID ravaged at the start of the year, and a lot of their best players out. I think they'd be starting to look forward to the end of the season, West Coast, but that doesn't mean that they're not dangerous this week. They've still got Darling and Kennedy both forward. That we both know the talent of those 2, and they can still kick a score. So I think we can't take them lightly. But I think if we produce our best footy for the longer parts of the game, then we should get the job done.
Yeah, no, they've definitely had excuses for the year. Yeah, you're right. Beat Essendon in round 15, which was interesting. So, they've got the ability. I think they've pushed a couple of other teams a little bit recently. So, but with those outs, we shouldn't be losing at home. It'd be really bad for our club, just our whole structure. I don't know the right word for it, but our morale would just drop through the floor. So, a game we cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, I think absolutely, definitely, 100%, Chris. It's not a game we can afford to lose. It's one that I think will definitely be, making sure that we win. Last week was a good performance, and everyone talks about the performance till halftime, and it was outstanding. Mitch Lewis 5 goals, the performance, Dimmer, Dylan Moore, all that. But we did also switch off late in that game, especially towards the third quarter and the sort of first 2, 3, 4 minutes of the last term. Sorry, and I think if we do that, I just saw a stat come up. Thanks, Chris. They kicked 7 goals in a quarter last week against Carlton. So if it's about even and they do something like that, and if we switch off, they could pinch it. They beat it. I mean, I don't want to say an inform Essendon side, but Essendon haven't lost since that loss to the Eagles, and they're and starting to play some good footy as well. So you just don't know. You don't want to play around with form, and I would think that we're going to come out for Paul Deere and for Jack Gunston's father obviously passed away. Also Willie Rioli Senior as well. Condolences to Willie's family. He's not playing this week due to that. So I think we'll be coming out showing a spirited effort, and hopefully it's enough to get the job done.
In saying that, I hope the Hawks can wear double armband this week, and in respect for Willie Rioli as well. Rioli family's done a lot for the AFL.
Absolutely, yeah, and obviously we've got ties to that Rioli name as well. So we obviously condolences to Willie and his family, and horrible time. We've had a shocking couple of weeks in footy. There's been quite a few personalities.
Horrible.
Fortunate has passed away, so condolences to them, and let's hope hopefully for a competitive game. But Hawks get the win. Let's hope.
I did watch a little bit of. I'm not sure what footy show it was, with a little bit of tribute to Paul Deere with his wife and kids on the show, and hard to not get a little bit emotional for such a great player. Like you said, was 127 games, was it, something like that? And just a Norm Smith medal in a team full of champions. That's, But just to raise that awareness around pancreatic. Oh, geez, butchered that. Put that in the highlight reels. Pancreatus. I've stuffed it again. All right, I'm leaving that one alone.
We got the point there. That's all. Yeah. Look. An interesting one. The West Coast are ranked 17th for scoring. So their average losing margin, so in the games that they've lost this season, is 59 points. So when you've got an average like that in a game where you've lost, what are they, 2-15, I think. So 15 losses, or maybe 14 because of the bye. Thanks, Tom. Ranked 17th and a 59. That's nearly 10 goals. Yeah, nearly 10 goals, just about. I would think that we're doing a little bit better than that. There's a couple of key stats that I've got that we'll go through a little bit later, but you would think, actually, we might as well do them now. Where are they? They've got, so for goals, we're ranked 11th. They're ranked 17th. For inside 50s, they're ranked 18th. We're ranked 16th. So they're probably the two ones that I'm looking at. In clearances, we averaged 32.7. We're ranked 17th in the comp.
Yep.
And they averaged 32.8 in the comp. So it's literally 0.1 of a difference, ranked 17th and 18th. So it's, the clearance battle for both sides all year hasn't been great. So I'd be looking. It's surprising as well. You look at Newcomb, O'Meara, Mitchell, and then you've got Gaff and Kelly running through there. I mean, that's surprising to me. We both struggled to win contested possessions, clearances, and centre clearances and stoppage clearances. Sorry, that was surprising to me in the research.
Oh, it's probably got a little bit to do with the rucks being available, and I guess, like you said, the personnel as well changes from week to week. But we should dominate that contest this round against West Coast. No disrespect to them, but I just don't know what else to say. If we don't win this game, we are going a lot worse than I thought we were.
Yeah, I don't like to use this word, but I'm gonna have a big call, and we'll get into predictions soon. But I'm gonna lead the way. I'm gonna say we're a model, and Daz is probably gonna absolutely flip his lid that I've used that word. But I don't think we lose on Sunday. I really don't. They are struggling. We're up and about. I think we've been probably a little bit better than what our record, our win-loss record suggests this year. And I know we've had some fans come on when we've said that and said, we're not playing good and the clearances are bad and this, that. But I do think that we are a little bit better than what we've shown. I think we're on the right track. And in terms of where they are and where we are, I think is quite a large gap.
That's gorgeous, mate.
I'll probably cop a bit of flack for that if we lose, but I'm all for it. We like the big calls here. So I've just seen, if I give a shout out, Kilby, Freedom, that is. I probably know Kilby, maybe don't know him by that name though, but shout out to Kilby. I have a feeling I know who that is. So
there you go. He'll shout your beer next time you're at the pub.
Absolutely.
All right. I might just, before we go into the predictions, a little bit early for that. Touch on Box Hill. Box Hill was good. Did you watch the boys who had who came on the show?
Damien Massidi on Sunday.
Yeah, he was great.
Monday. It was a really good show. Fans, if you haven't checked that out, if you are unable to watch that live, jump on our Facebook or YouTube channel. That was one of my favourite shows so far. Matt and Daz did a really good job, and he was a really, really good guest. So if you haven't seen that, jump on, have a look. Obviously, it always helps when we're dissecting a win as well. So it's not like you got to sit through, a loss. And it was really, really good to have him on. I thought he spoke really well, and definitely one of my favourites that I've seen on the show so far.
Yep. All right. Yes, Box Hill sitting ninth and probably need to win 4 out of their next 5 to make the finals. They've run into a tough opponent this week in Werribee, who are sitting 6th on the ladder. They started the year a bit slow and sort of on a roll at the moment, so it's going to be a tough one. But yeah, Box Hill City Oval on Saturday at 2:05. So if you're anywhere around town, Box Hill City Oval, go down, support the boys. It should be a cracking game. But looking forward over the next several rounds, they've got Northern Bull Ants, who are last on the ladder. So, pencil that one in. I think we've got to, that's a moral. We've got to buy. Then we play Frankston down in Frankston. So I think if the kids 1 p.m. on a Saturday, if my kids aren't interrupting my Saturday playing basketball, I'll be down at Frankston watching that one. Geelong, who are sitting in 14th. Oh, sorry, Frankston's 15th. Geelong are 14th, and then we've got Sydney in the last round, who are sitting 5th. So that could be make or break to make the finals. That last game.
Yeah, they're a game outside the 8 now, which hurts because there's only a percentage splitting 5th to 8th, and then us on 9th to 11th. I think it's 2 teams behind us, Richmond, and there's one on the side there as well. So we need to win most of the games. We do have a healthier percentage than the 2 teams behind us, but we do need to win most of the games coming home. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, Tom. If that's meant to be a compliment, then cheers. But the last few presidents they've had, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah, Mercedes did touch on that. Werribee is a bogey side for Box Hill, so yeah, tough one. But you've got to there you go, good old Lincoln. Need a bit more on the chin, mate.
Yeah. They are a bit of a bogey side. Mass touched on that on Monday with the boys. Look, hopefully, we just want to be competitive coming home, and as we've mentioned, they do need to win some games. As we touched on, they're a game outside the 8 now, so it's just going to be about getting the wins. And it doesn't have to be pretty, but just needs to.
Just thinking with like Maxi Lynch potentially, like they've been without ruck because we've been without rucks all year, so they've got probably Max Lynch might play finals for them with Brinker Ritchie. You reckon?
Do you know how many games they have to play to be able to play finals? Is there a limit? Is there like a thing?
Yeah, there is. I think it's about, I was going to say 5, but I reckon it might be more, maybe 6 or 7. And then they are disqualified from playing VFL finals. So I'm slightly guessing there, but yeah, there would be a definite limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many played for the year? Wouldn't be many.
No, because he missed so many from concussion. So
I have a feeling. I don't know if it was Ramsden or Lynch. I reckon it might only be one. I read the Hawthorn that he puts out. One of the coaches, he puts out a report every week on the AFL listed Hawks and how they did at Box Hill. And I have a feeling it said he might have only played one game, but I could be getting that player wrong. There's definitely one there that's only played one game. I think it was Lynch.
Well, when Ramsden, he could definitely, make a difference if he can gain some form. It's good getting some game time into him. He looks like a phenomenal prospect there. I'll be keen to actually get down and watch him in the flesh. I'll be really keen. So, you coming down to Frankston with us, mate? I'll tell you what, my kids better not have a 1:00 basketball game.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. If I'm not working, I'm there. Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's hard on the weekends, but as soon as I got the work off, it's generally looking at where I can go to the footy or whatnot. If not playing golf, so yeah.
Well, this is a little bit long-winded, but I'm going to go with it because Glenferrie Gold's helped us out here. In order to be eligible, each player must have played at least one AFL, VFL, or development game in 2019. If they played an AFL home and away match after the 1st of July, they must have played at least 6 VFL games during the season to remain eligible. So, in saying that, he should be good. Good to go.
Yes, which is good. So that's what we want. We want a couple of good players at Box Hill last week were Dan Howe. Unfortunately, he's probably the best player at Box Hill, and he's like
100%.
On the sort of I don't want to say worst, but on the skinny end of the AFL list.
I feel like he's underrated at Hawthorn. He does some good things. He's reasonable with his possessions. He doesn't do too many, shocking turnovers, but he is also playing 5 different positions on the ground. Like, he's just filling holes when he plays for us down now. I feel sorry for the guy.
Yeah, he gets moved around a lot, doesn't he? And he's probably never really playing his actual role, but I do like
the date. Oh, it's round 20 at 1 p.m. I'll look it up for you.
Is it Sunday week or is it after that?
Round 20. It's a few weeks away. It's about a month away, I think.
Ned Long will miss this week, guys, just while Chris has a look there. He's concussion protocols, unfortunately. So he was, starting to get a couple of games in a row to him. The other 4 legends are. I love that Stratton haircut.
6th of August.
6th of August, there we are. How to port with Clarkson. Interesting. He's definitely good enough to play AFL footy. That's probably one we might look at closer towards the end of the year. I'm sure Daz will dissect, players that are going, possibly coming to us and then some going out. Callow, I don't know if it was on last week's show. Someone mentioned, and this could have even been off camera, like in one of our chats, but someone mentioned about playing Callow back and him turning into a defensive 50 brute. They actually tried that last week in the first half, and they moved him forward because he just unfortunately had a couple of very poor defensive errors that led to goals, and they ended up moving him forward. And once he went forward, he got into his work a lot more and kicked a goal and had 8 touches and quite a few hit-outs as well. So he was definitely good in the forward line, but playing him back, I don't really think suited the big fella, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think he's got the ability. He'll keep improving. So in our system, so just got to give them time to mature. We've got to keep remembering all these kids. We just expect them to come into the team and perform, and they're also young still. Look what Mitch Lewis is doing now. So give him 15 games under his belt, and we're going to see a different player.
Exactly right. And it's one thing to play well, and this is no disrespect to VFL, and they do an amazing job, and they've got such talent in that league as well. But it is one thing playing at a VFL level compared to an AFL, and I think you do see that coming through VFL. I mean, you look at Warple, who's had his struggles this year, and then goes down to VFL and kills it down in VFL. So it's definitely, especially when you're a young kid, there's definitely a bit of a learning process, and the only way you sort of learn that is by playing in the AFL league.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else to touch on before we move into the predictions?
Yeah, just a couple more, mate. We've actually got it didn't actually surprise me when I read this, but we are going at 67% set shot accuracy for the year. That is ranked number 1 in the comp. It's one of the only things we're ranked on at, to be fair. But we are ranked 1 in the comp at that. So that's a really good stat to have. And no doubt that goes, you look at Mitch Lewis probably leading the way there with his accuracy. He's a beautiful kick of the footy. Cozzy as well, great kick of the footy. Bruce, Gunston. That's really pleasing for me to see that once we get a little bit more of a supply, we've talked about some issues getting it down there. As we said, we're ranked 17th in inside 50s this year. So once we can get it down there, and we can see, one, our set shot accuracy is high, but so is our efficiency just in general inside 50. It's really pleasing to see. And, Mitch Lewis obviously leading the way there, and he's played, under 50 games of footy. It's very pleasing to see.
All right. So, guys, pop your predictions up for this week. I'll have to scroll back up for Tom's one with his big prediction earlier. But while you're typing your predictions in, probably maybe your weird predictions or whatever you're going to pull from left centre, someone who's going to kick a bag or have a big disposal count. But in the meantime, pop the photo up again. Get along to the MCG this round to, watch these guys do their lap of honour. They're absolute legends for the club, and we'll be there in a box, as you can see scrolling at the bottom. So if you want to join us in the box this week, let us know. Go to talkinghawks.com or let us know Facebook, Twitter, or I think we're on Insta. But yeah, just let us know. We'll give you the details. It's $100 to join us, and it'll be a cracker.
Absolutely, guys. No better seats in the house, so jump on that.
I'm going to change over to this comment screen. Oh, did Tom help me out? Was that his one from earlier? Hawthorn, 11-15, inaccurate. All right, 81, 2-5, 17. McDonald with 4, Moore with 3, Tom Mitchell with 47. Wow. I'd be quite happy with that result.
I would as well, absolutely. What else have we got? Hawks by 7, 18 points Hawks. We hope it's a little bit more than that, Dom. But hey, at least a win's a win. Fred as well by 15. Again, I'm hoping it's more than that. I've used the M word, and I'm already fearful that if we don't win, there's going to be some heated discussion. 7 goals. We're hoping. I don't want a close game because I'll be sweating too much, and we want to really, really, really. I think 50 plus points.
This prediction's a little bit different, but Gilby's going to give you a kiss, mate.
I won't see him this week. I'm not working this week, but maybe next week. He might smack me if we lose.
He's got some good airtime tonight, so he definitely owes you a kiss or two.
Yes.
Hawks by 27. The scoreline will be fluttering. Here we go. This is what we want to see. O'Meara with 30 plus. Jai Serong with 3 goals on debut in the wet. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. Hawks by 47. That's more like it, Jane. California, Hawks by 40 plus. More 6. We'd love to see that. Daz would be jumping up and down. And, oh, my God, geez, would he love that. He's going to be there too. Oh, geez. You might
more the most possessions.
Yes. Yeah. Gee, that would be, Daz would be up and about there.
Ooh. Morey with 6 playing forward or Morey with 6 playing in the midfield? That'd be a hell of a game, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
James Keane, Hawks by 47. Did somebody say it's going to be wet?
Yeah, I think there is a bit of rain, actually. We probably didn't. Yeah. Hawks by 12 because of rain, yeah. Chris, thanks for that. I don't know how much rain we're going to get, but I know there is some forecast. We don't play too bad in the wet.
No, we've played some awesome footy in the wet this year.
If you're looking at West Coast, who are, their 2 main dangers to scoring, Kennedy and Darling. If it's wet, that's going to negate them. One person I didn't remember something. One person that I wanted to talk about was was Blake Hardwick. Does he play a similar role to last week, or does he go to maybe Liam Ryan? He's probably the only one that I was looking at that might.
Reigning goals. That's huge. 20 goals, 19. That'd be a sight to see. Back to your question, and thanks, Tom. Heavy rain, 96%.
Yeah.
Lucky I'll be in the box, not getting rained on.
You can be too, for just $100 ahead.
Hardwick, yes. Oh, I think why not? You got two options, really, can't you? He plays that lockdown role, takes him out of the game, or somebody else plays on Ryan and he just plays that loose role where he can just, be accountable for his opponent, but at the same time just peel off and do what he does best and rack up possessions and deliver some nice ball down forward.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe CJ could go to Ryan. Similar sort of players, both very exciting, bit of dash, bit of run. He's had 32 disposals. It's his highest, I think it was equal highest disposals for his season, for his career. So I would like to see the same thing again. Another one about, keeping the same roles from last week. Finn McGuinness has had a really, really, really good couple of weeks. We played that shutdown role on Ed Langdon when we played Melbourne. And then last week he's done probably an even better job on Jordan Dawson, which we touched on in the preview. Does he go to Gaff and try and play a very similar role? There's obviously Kelly running through there as well, but I would think if he's gone to Dawson instead of Laird, he's probably going to go to Gaff instead of Kelly.
Yeah, no, I don't think Kelly's as big of a threat. It's probably definitely going to be Gaff. I can't think of any other player in need of a hard lockdown tag, so makes sense. Just wear him, absolutely wear him like a glove, like he has been, and what he actually did well last week, he racked up 15 disposals of his own as well. He didn't just lock him down. I was quite impressed with that fact as well.
Yeah, correct. So I'm glad you touched on that. You're right, he did have 15 touches himself, but he also kept Jordan Dawson to just 15. Now his average for the season
down on his average,
he's 23. So that's obviously quite a disparity. Dawson's recorded at least 6 marks it was 21 straight games leading into last week. He had 1 last week. He also had only 2 intercept possessions, where his average is 7. 258 meters gained, I believe, was his average leading into last week. The other way around. He had 500 and something meters gained. He only had 258 last week. And he also averaged 6 rebound 50s, and he only had 1 last week. So on all round, just great job. Like you said, wore him like a glove, and we really, really hope that he does the same thing on I would assume, Gaff this week.
Yes, there you go. Jane says, tempting to come to the box. Yes, come and join us. Bring a friend or two. There we go. Just DM us, follow us, like us. Just let us know, and we'll give you the details.
Absolutely. Let's hope that we have a win this week, because we wanting to close our season off well. They have had the woodwork over us the last couple of times. We're 1-4 in our last 5 against them. So let's hope we turn that around this week at the G.
Yes, definitely, mate. Before you go, mate, what is your prediction? Because it's tomorrow, so what's your scoreline?
I'm going to say Hawks by 54. So pretty much just under their losing average for the year. I reckon it'll probably be a high score for the year. We're going to hit the triple digits and keep that stat alive, that when the Hawks kick over 100 points, we don't lose games of footy.
That's right, mate. We don't. All right. I'll give you a chance to think about any other bold predictions and big goal kickers. I'm going to say, if it's going to be wet, I'm just going to, be a bit more conservative, but still optimistic at 32 points. And I reckon Brewster's going to kick a sneaky 4.
Bruce with 4. Yeah, very good. I reckon Lewis with 4, Bruce with 4, and Dylan Moore with 4 as well. I reckon we're going to share the load, share the load this week and really put them to the sword. Pretty much what I want to see is what we did to Adelaide in the first half for 4 quarters. That's what we want to do. Don't drop off.
That's it. As long as the same guys turn up from last week, I'm sure we can put that same performance together and come away with a nice win.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we could be talking about a nice win after the weekend. And hopefully you can get to the game and support the boys on their lap of honour. So enjoy the footy on the weekend, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys.